Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Mail. So for today, I'm going to go over a pretty entertaining email that was sent from a subscriber. That's from a guy, sounds like he's about 25 years old, and he shares his story from like 6-7 years ago when he's a freshman in college, and how he learned firsthand just how crafty some gals can be at leading a double life. A double life where they have a boyfriend, but they also have the guy on the side. And in this situation, this guy here wasn't the boyfriend, he was the guy on the side, but didn't know it. And you're going to see in this story, guys, this guy here, he was very athletic. He played football. He was part of the football program even his freshman year. I mean, he started then, so that says something. Girls liked him. He describes himself that he was definitely the a-hole, so therefore he was a Chatter Tyrone type. No problem with girls. And this gal he was involved with, he thought she was single. Well, it turns out she wasn't. But you're going to see how this guy handles her, the situation, and it's a good one. And it goes to show you guys, you always have to pay attention. It is amazing how great actresses the gals can be, even at that young of an age. The girl was only like 18, 19 years old when he met her, and she's behaving like what you hear gals much older. So, definitely a good one. So it starts off, says here, what's up, SSM? Congrats on your success with the channel and your recent move. You deserve it. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. As you can see, I'm in Florida. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. We're having a cold front coming down here. It was like in the 50s this morning. It's awesome. Felt like that's what I missed the most about Massachusetts, the autumn, although we're almost in winter. I've been a subscriber since 2021, and I've actually watched every video across your main channel, and they did what? Well, thanks, bro. I'm writing you to tell you about a situation I dealt with when I was a freshman in college 6 years ago. I went to a very popular party school in my state on a football scholarship out of high school. So, and you're going to see, guys, football is a very big deal at this school, which is why this guy was so popular with the girls. I'm sure he was very charming and cool and good looking, but being on the football team your freshman year, you're like a walking god. Before I go further back, I think it's important to tell you a little about my upbringing and how I was raised. I was raised by my mom and my dad. They've been married for over 30 years. The biggest influence on me, being the way I am, is my dad, though. My dad was in the Army for 29 years, Sergeant Major E9. Worked as a corrections officer in one of the most dangerous prisons in the country for 25 years. He says Rikers Island. And was a national champion in Taekwondo at 174 pounds in the 1990s. Let's just say he ran a tight ship. He even had his own karate school teaching Taekwondo for a decade as well. I was throwing front and roundhouse kicks by the time I could walk. Needless to say, he's a true badass. He doesn't take shit from anyone, ever. Well, so you were raised by a tough, badass alpha male. And you learned. And that's what all guys need. Now, not every dad is going to be a guy that works at a prison and was in the Army and was a black belt, but a many tiered black belt. But still, all young guys need that strong male in their life. He didn't take shit from anyone, and neither do I. He is truly a great man, but just don't cross him. Now, as a retired 60-year-old, he does executive protection for many A-list celebrities. If you've ever been to a movie theater or watched a TV show or any streaming service, you know some of the talent he works with. Well, I don't know who you're exactly referring to, but obviously A-listers, people with money that need bodyguards. Or a bodyguard firm. Well, good for your dad. That's awesome. Shout out to your old man. As a side note, while working as a corrections officer, my dad was attacked and he beat the living crap out of Latin King gang members while my mom was pregnant with me. All three of them had shanks. He quickly disarmed two of them and they ran away. The third guy was feeling bold and he got his face caved in. Things got really bad and there was a hit out my dad. There was 24/7 security outside my house and a panic button in my parents' bedroom for a while. Holy shit. You know, fighting one person is tough enough, let alone taking on three. Well, at the higher level of martial arts, they train you, and I've been there, to have three people coming after you. And you're going to get hit, and you're going to get banged up, you know, especially if they have weapons, for God's sakes. But obviously your dad was a bad motherfucker. That's not related to the story, but it just makes me proud knowing that my dad beat the crap out of three dudes at one time who were starting shit. I'll attach the image of one of them who got his ass beat the worst so you can see it. Yeah, he attached the picture and the guy is, pretty beat. I know it sounds bad, but these guys literally tried to off my dad, and he wasn't a highly skilled martial artist. If he wasn't, he'd probably be gone. I wish my dad effed them up even worse. Well, they're in prison. Anyway, I guess you could say I have a natural crimson capsule mentality. I'm obviously a watcher of R-pill content now, but I naturally always thought this way. I have a natural, I don't give a F attitude, just like my dad, and I don't take shit from anyone, ever. So from early on, you had a great role model, and you learn not to take any crap, and not just from guys, but also from women. And obviously you are pilled, so you put that all together, of course women are after you. He says, I never, ever put gals on pedestals. Many of them would describe me as rude or an a-hole, yet that didn't stop them from wanting to be with me. When a woman says you're an asshole, you're doing something right, guys. Remember that. I barely acknowledged most of their existences, and when I did, I made it clear I just wanted to hook up, and I never took them very seriously. Well, why would you? Seriously. Given how the gals behave today, particularly the young ones, why would you take them seriously? Seriously. Some girls were taken aback by my directness, but most girls seemed to like it. I didn't understand back then, but I do now. Yeah, I know you do now. You think nice guys ever behave that way? No fucking way. They're not direct. They don't, hey, look, I'm here to hook up, nothing more. You're not going to get a relationship out of me. Most nice guys would never have the balls to say that because they're conditioned not to. The fact that I didn't show them any attention just made them want my attention so much more. Ding, ding, ding. To the point where they would offer to do my homework, papers, and other things that I didn't want to do. Plus, it helped that I was a good football player at a school that was known for its football program. That is a huge part of it, dude. I'm sure you're a smooth, cool dude, and you're good looking, you're athletic, and all that. But you playing football at a school that it's a huge deal, as many colleges, it's a huge fucking deal. And as a freshman, you were in the damn team playing because obviously you were very good, unless I am mistaken here. Yeah, you're walking around and they were lining up to get with you because his rank. It's just like in fucking junior high. 7th grade girl. I remember in 7th grade. I'll never forget this, guys. Quick side story. Some of these moments that really taught me reality about women. In the 7th freaking grade, I was 12 years old in around Thanksgiving time. And my family and I went off to see Home Alone. This is 1990. I'm thinking of this because I saw Home Alone when I was flipping channels the other day. And in the theater was packed because Home Alone was such a popular movie. And I saw two of my buddies from the 7th grade who were soccer players come strolling in with their girlfriends. 2 girls in the 9th grade. These are 7th graders, are all like fucking 12 and 13 years old with chicks that are older than them. Why? Because they played soccer. Status. That's the big deal. That was a major learning experience. Meanwhile, I'm the fucking loser sitting there with my family. And my family was great, don't get me wrong. But I'm there kind of like sinking down the seat, because I see these dudes that I'm friends with. And there were these chicks that I sure as hell wouldn't have gotten any attention from. Status. So I'm sure you were cool. But you being on the football team was a big fucking deal. Anyhow. There, you got a little piece of my history, guys. One of my first R-pill moments of reality in the 7th grade. Anyhow, at that time this story took place, she described me as a typical Chad or Tyrone in my case. The dude says he's black, so therefore he's Tyrone. I'm not calling him that, he's saying that, just in case anybody wants to give me shit. You never know who pops up on this channel. For the sake of the story, let's call me Justin. I'm black, 6'1" and 180, and I have a low body fat around 10%. Okay, so you work out hard and you maintain your diet, good for you. Thanks to my dad, I have really good genetics. Needless to say, I never had problems getting women. I say that to give you an accurate depiction of who I am. Okay. I'm not getting the impression that you're trying to be bragging or anything. You're just trying to give an idea for the story. This story is for my young bros in college who have girlfriends or are thinking about doing long distance. Don't. You heard that? Don't do the long distance. It's just simply not a good idea to put any trust in women. They will always do what feels right in the moment and will have no consideration about how it may impact you. Man, you definitely are wise in your ways at 25 years old, dude, because you hit the nail right on the head. Dating a girl at school that you don't attend makes it impossible to trust but verify, which is what you must do when dealing with women because they will lie. One day while I was on campus, I was walking to a girl's dorm room to have some fun when I noticed a group of 5 or 6 girls walking towards me. I had my headphones on and was walking until I vaguely heard something over my music. I turned my head, I see the group of the girls looking at me smiling. Out of the group, there was one main girl talking. Just for you, SSM, let's call her Jessica. Yes, she's earned the rank of Jessica, as I know how the story goes. She says to me, "God bless your soul, you fine chocolate man." I took my headphones off and asked her to repeat herself, and she said it again. I've been approached by women before, but still, it's not often that a guy gets ran down by a group of 5 of them. I chat them up for a little bit and then proceeded to get all 5 of their phone numbers. As any chatter Tyrone would do, next, because you don't give a shit. And that's the key, you don't give a shit. And they're like, maybe I'll get a chance with the football player here. They all want a piece. Because you were in the top percent in that time period. Jessica looked the best, so I decided I would hit her up and see where that went. I was just looking for a hookup, nothing serious. And I'm sure he told her that, which was music to her ears. At that point in my life, I'd never been in a relationship, just kept a rotation of different girls that I would have fun with. Fast forward a couple days, and me and Jessica are hanging out. She truly was such a nice and sweet girl. And he says, so I thought, in parentheses. No, they're not. After hanging out with Jessica for a few months, it felt like she really wanted to prove herself to me. She did everything for me, and I do mean everything. It really felt like she was auditioning to be my wife. Guys, you're the top percentage guy in their eyes? Yeah, they line up. He says, SSM, this girl would do the following. Now listen to this. She'd have food waiting for me after football practice. She would clean my room, do my laundry, take my trash out, fold my clothes, and of course, SCX whenever I wanted it. She pretty much would do anything I asked with no hesitation. Oh, poor you. Yeah, a lot of guys are like this. A lot of guys are thinking, this motherfucker, because we all knew dudes like you when we were younger, or right now. Yeah. But I bet you she probably didn't do this for a real boyfriend. And I'm willing to bet you, dude, that if you slipped up for a moment and started treating her like a human being, all that would stop. But you made that she was constantly chasing your validation. You didn't give her a relationship. You didn't give her anything she wanted. The crazier part is that she even cleaned my roommate's side of the room and did his laundry too. I really thought this girl was a sweetheart. Your roommate's probably like, thanks, bro. Thankfully, due to my natural mentality, I never caught feelings too much, even though she was a pretty girl, easily an 8 out of 10. Well, there's a reason for this. We never really talked during the day, and I would only really see her after classes and practice. I was never suspicious of her because she wasn't my girl, so even if she was messing with other dudes, that's her right to do so, and she did so much for me that I thought there was no way she could have any room left for another guy. You heard him right there. So many stories I've covered, guys, on this channel and the other channels, where you hear guys saying things like they thought there was no way their girlfriend or wife could cheat on them, because how could she? She'd have no time. She's at work, she's at home, she's with the kids, she hardly ever goes out, and yet, somehow they make it happen. One day during our 6 a.m. lifting session, I see a new transfer to the team in the weight room. We played against each other in high school and followed each other on Instagram. We didn't know each other, but we knew of each other. With that being said, since he was new, he took to me and we became cool. Let us call him Rob. One day, Rob and I were in the locker room and he asked me about any girls I was messing with. I told him the girls I had in my rotation and mentioned Jessica. I thought nothing of it at the time. Later that day, Jessica tells me she's going to spend the weekend at her friend's school that was a couple states away. Before she left, she made sure to give me something to remember her by, if you get what I'm saying. Yes, dude, I get what you're saying. Again, she wasn't my girl, so I really didn't care that she was leaving, and I really didn't care what she was doing and when she was there. I had other girls who could sub in for her in her absence. Like I told you guys, this guy is the player. He said he's Tyrone. Oddly enough, I didn't hear from Jessica the whole weekend she was gone or the Monday when she returned. Well, that is kind of interesting, given that she's been waiting on you hand and foot since the moment you spoke to her. But you don't care. You got other bitches. On that Monday, I'm in class, and Rob texts me and asks what Jessica looks like. It threw me off a bit, but I just said something. I thought whatever and described her to him. His reply is something I'll probably never forget. He says, "Yo, bro, that's my best friend's girlfriend." Uh-oh. They were dating for 2 years. I was shocked. This girl had enough energy to treat me like a boyfriend while having an actual boyfriend at the same time. Yes, that's how crafty many can be. That's how they can put on the show. The Oscar goes to Jessica again for biggest asshole. Yeah, dude. The amount of energy she poured into me still leaves me confused to this day how she could juggle 2 boyfriends. These hoes are devious, man. Yes, they are. I never noticed her on her phone that much when we were together, but then again, I wasn't really looking because I didn't care. This guy's hilarious. I just thought if she had a boyfriend, she'd be more active on her phone. No, she's not active on her phone with her boyfriend because he's there no matter what. If she was on her phone, if she was away from you, she'd be on her phone yapping with you, trying to get your attention. But she already has her boyfriend. He ain't going anywhere, so she doesn't care. So Rob tells me that I need to stop talking to her ASAP because she has a boyfriend and that's his boy. At this point, I was more than happy to do that because she's starting to bring drama into my life. That's not worth it. Exactly. I would have never touched that girl if I knew that or even thought she had a boyfriend. Well, I'm glad you said that, dude, because there are so many scumbags out there that knowingly bang girls or bang women that have boyfriends or husbands or whatever, and that just ain't cool. You're just making the world a worse place. So I told Rob, no worries, I will not talk to her again. But that wasn't good enough for him. I don't know. It was the request of Jessica's boyfriend. I don't know if this was the request of Jessica's boyfriend. Let's call him Christian. Or if this is Rob's idea. But he proposed to have one last sit down to gain closure. Why? I told him I don't need closure. I told you I won't talk to her again, so that's that. Still, he insisted. Oh, for God's sakes. So as me and Rob became cool, I just said, fuck it, whatever, because it seemed like Jessica's boyfriend was pushing for this behind the scenes, and that was putting Rob in an awkward spot. So we have this sit down, and Rob and Jessica come to my room. Can you believe how fucking awkward this is? Rob asked me, is there anything you want to say to her, Justin? And I say, nope. Rob asked Jessica the same question, and she says, now listen to this, guys. Place your bets what she's about to say. I'm really sorry. This was never supposed to go this far. I just really liked you. Uh-huh. She probably has a new guy every semester. I laughed and said, you had a boyfriend, you approached me, you are a sick fuck. Guess what happens next, guys? She starts to cry, and Rob says, no need for insults. We just need to clear the air and make sure this is really done. Dude, I think obviously your friendship with Rob is quickly ending here. What you should have done is gotten the boyfriend on the phone and told him what happened. That would have been doing him a service. Because usually nice guys like are obviously with this Jessica type would hear her tears and bullshit. I missed you, that's why I cheated. And she'd go right back to doing the same shit. This made me snap, and I say, this is done, bro. Tell Christian he can have her back. This bitch is no longer useful to me. Both y'all can leave now. Jessica stormed out of my dorm room crying, and Rob said to me that I didn't have to say all that. Fuck you, Rob. Goddamn nice guy. But I didn't care. Not only was she a lying, cheating B, but she made me an accessory to her crimes without my knowledge. F her. Yeah, exactly. If you're wondering how Jessica got caught, here's how. When she told me she was visiting friends, what she was really doing was visiting her boyfriend at his school. Long-distance relationship. And she probably showed up all sweet and nice and hugs and I love you, I miss you, I thought about you every day. That's what she probably told Christian. Meanwhile, she's with Tyrone here, Justin/Tyrone, having a good old time. He says here, when her boyfriend went to class, he took Jessica's Apple Watch. I don't know if he did it just to use her watch or if he had suspicions. He read all her messages between me and Jessica and instantly told Rob about it. Man, this poor bastard. She had raw SCX with me on Wednesday. Yeah, I know I'm getting smacked. Yeah, smack. What, dude, that could have turned out really bad. Guys, always bring protection, always wear protection, always dispose your protection, and don't buy on the pill bullshit. Aside from the whole pregnancy thing, you want to catch something, and I guarantee you this girl. He says this, WHORE of a girl couldn't even require one of us to wear a condom. Mind you, we were freshmen. She was like 18 years old, moving like that. I can only imagine what she's like now. I got tested and I was clean, thank God. Yeah, you got lucky, dude. This just goes to show you that even if your girl has a boyfriend, she will cheat on you for someone who gives her the tingles. Be safe out there, fellas. Yes, exactly. There's always going to be some guy that watches my show is going to be like, not my girlfriend, not my wife. And you know what? I hope that's true. But you have to go with the mindset that it could be your girlfriend. It could be your wife. Don't get me wrong. There are some good women out there that won't pull this shit. But sadly nowadays, given the countless stories you've heard, you have to have the mindset like it could be. I know my 4% women out there are like, what the fuck, SSM? You know I have reason to say that. As for me, I'm now 25 and I have a successful business. I live 4 to 5 days a week and still maintain the low body fat. Good for you, dude. Keep it up. I'm kind of a fitness nut. I also do the executive protection work with the same company my dad works for. And I get to work with a lot of famous actors. Days I'm not busy with work from businesses, I'm out doing executive protection work. Keeps me busy and pays well too. That's great, man. I dropped out of college during COVID and started my marketing agency, which took off in 2022. I started in 2019 and grinded for 3 years before seeing any real money. But it was definitely worth the wait. College isn't for everyone, and if it isn't for you, that's perfectly fine. Bro, college isn't for everyone. And there's some guys that simply don't need to go, and they embark on a path to become proficient in a certain trade. Guys, colleges are hurting because more people are waking up to realize it ain't worth the fucking giant loans for something that pays dog shit. So there's more people are seeking trades. I've done articles about this. I dropped out of college also to start my first business. And everybody thought I was fucking crazy, but my parents backed off, let me do it because I knew I had to get out of my system, and it worked. So I don't have a college degree. But I had a couple of great teachers in college that I will never forget that really helped add gasoline to the fire of my passion for business. He says here, learn a skill and learn how to market yourself. There's no cap on your earning potential when you continue to learn new skills and are able to add more and more value to the world. And oh yeah, leave these bitches alone. Yes, exactly. There's no cap on your potential, guys. You got to find out what you want, figure out how to get it, and work your fucking ass off to do that every day. And you really grind when you're young, when you got the energy and don't have responsibilities like a wife and kids and all that. It says they all want the top percentage of men anyway. So instead of trying to chase after them while you're still broke, wait until you're more stable financially. Well, don't chase, let them chase you. Even then, be careful, never chase. You'll have way more options and they'll treat you way better if they view you as that guy. 9 out of 10 women will be more trouble than they're worth. Well, I'm going to up that and say 10 out of 10 are more trouble than they're worth. Okay, in terms of let them come to you. Don't bust your ass. If you're doing well for yourself, they'll come to you. You don't have to do a whole lot. I started dating my now girlfriend shortly after the events in this story. Next month, we'll make 7 years of being together. Holy shit, dude. You went from the stereotypical Tyrone to being a relationship guy. I guess after that experience, but you would think after that experience, you wouldn't have a girlfriend. But I guess obviously she was at your school and you can watch her and all that. Although you can't watch her all the time as you're well aware, but okay. I'm going to guess you had enough judgment to handle it right. Anyhow, 7 years. This is the only girl I will ever take seriously in a relationship because she truly loved me when I was a broke college kid selling weed in my dorm room. Yeah, illegal as fuck, but you're an entrepreneur. I sold illegal fireworks in junior high and high school and college in Pennsylvania because you couldn't get anything. In Pennsylvania, you could they had sparklers at the grocery store or fountain. So I went to Maryland, I went to Baltimore to get the fun stuff, and that's how I, from 16 on, then I would buy, before 16, I bought them at a local farmer's market, back of people's cars, I kid you not, and then sell them in junior high and high school. When I could finally drive and go to Baltimore, that's where I got the good stuff. Anyhow, I did my shady shit too, dude. He says here, if that relationship doesn't work out, I'll be writing to you again, probably. Well, I hope you don't have to write to me. The main reason the relationship has lasted this long, in my opinion, is because I always take the lead. I always check her on her bullshit, and she knows if she goes too far, we're done. Your woman has to know that you'll drop her like a bad habit if she acts out. Like you say, these women are pretty much just adult children. No offense to the 4% of women that watch you, but you all know it's true. Yes, they do. My 4%ers out there, you know darn well you're all adult children. You're probably don't want to admit it, but because let's be honest here, what causes children to act like children, aside from being young and inexperienced and little dumbasses? Emotions. Children are driven by emotions. And who has the emotion CPU operating system? Women. We know it. You all know it. But anyhow, he hit the nail on the head about all that. He's a leader. He doesn't take her bullshit. He checks her on the bullshit. And if she goes too far, she knows that they're done. I tell you all the time, they got to know they push you too far, you're out of there. But notice he's been with her 7 years. This guy's obviously a catch. He was a catch in high school, college, and now. And still, he says she'll pull some bullshit from time to time. Because that's what they do. I guarantee it's just testing him to see. Is he starting to SIMP? Is he starting to get too nice? Really? It's what they do. Thanks again for reading SSM and keep up the good work. You're helping so many young guys out there. I was fortunate that I had the strong masculine presence in my life, and that's why I'm the way I am. But a lot of men don't have that. Your work is needed for all men of all ages and races. Well, you're welcome, man, and I appreciate you watching me all this time. But congratulations on your success. You really had a leg up in this world because of your dad. And I wish so many guys had dads like yours, on varying levels. Not all are going to have dads that were badasses, that were in the Army for 29 years and were top martial artists and worked in a prison and all that, Not a lot of guys have something like that. And yeah, you were born with natural athletic abilities and tall and strong and all that, but still, you've done well for yourself, and I'm very impressed at how you're doing as an adult now. So continue it on. Don't ever get complacent. Keep on pushing for something better, improving yourself, gaining new skills, as you said. Because otherwise, number one, once you start letting things go and get complacent, business is not going to be what it once was. Things are always changing, and the best investment you can always make is in yourself. And it sounds like you love what you do, so that's great. And I didn't hear anything about you being engaged to this chick. I don't hear anything about that. So you just handle things accordingly, what you think is the best way to do it. But anyhow, guys, good story here. But you can see how they can lead a double life. They can so easily cover things up. And this is why you don't do long-distance relationships. And you always have to pay attention. Trust but verify. There you go. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.